too often, conservatives don't get justice when they're attacked in places like Seattle. Of course, Cam Hegby, independent journalist who was brutally assaulted by an Antifa goon outside the federal courthouse. Here's the video if you haven't seen it already.
Let him go. Let him go. Let him go.
Yeah, so Cam Hegby after that ended up going to a hospital because he had woken up with blood coming from his nose. Hospital said he got a concussion over the attack. And I have said, that was like a month ago, and we knew the day after the attack who his attacker was. The ID was positively confirmed. Cam Hegby had done everything he needed to do, and weeks went by without any charges or any arrest. Which is just crazy. And if the roles were reversed, I'm sorry. If there had been a mainstream journalist like a King 5 reporter or a Seattle Times reporter, and they were assaulted by like a Proud Boy on the streets of Seattle, how long do you think it would have taken for an arrest to happen or for charges? Like 24 hours. And we know that that's not just a guess, because the last time that happened, when there was a right-winger who attacked mainstream journalists in 2021 down at the state capitol, it took just days for that whole thing to be buttoned up. So Jeremy Lawson, we broke the news here on the show yesterday because we got word even before prosecutors knew that apparently that Jeremy Lawson had been picked up by the Seattle Police Department and booked into jail. He was booked into jail during our show yesterday for investigation of assault. So I've learned a couple things about what all went down here, because after the show we reached out to prosecutors, and I'm not kidding you, prosecutors had no idea. The King County Prosecutor's Office had no idea that Jeremy Lawson had been arrested. I'd been in touch with the King County Prosecutor's Office just seeking updates on the case as to, police had referred a case for a charging decision, and prosecutors had just sort of, I guess it seemed like to me, been sitting on it. So I reached out. I said, hey, this must mean that you've charged the guy, right? And they're like, what? He's been arrested? Which I guess I was sort of surprised by. But here's what happened. So Jeremy Lawson had been harassing Cam Hegby, had been contacting Cam Hegby directly. I guess maybe he was emboldened because no one was coming to arrest him. No one was coming to pick him up. So he was taunting and contacting Cam Hegby during this period of time when he was out free. And so the Seattle Police Department decided enough is enough. We've got to arrest this guy because he's out here taunting the victim. So they pick him up. They booked him into the jail yesterday afternoon. I have since had a conversation with the King County Prosecutor's Office, and they basically said what will happen today is Jeremy Lawson will have his first court appearance this afternoon. That's when prosecutors will, I would assume, make an argument for bail, because this is a felony assault case. And then the clock is ticking. So you can't hold someone indefinitely without charging them. Obviously, this is America, and even someone as horrible as Jeremy Lawson has constitutional rights. And so you have 72 hours to either charge or release them without any bail at all. So I think that SPD going out to effect this arrest puts the prosecutor's office on a bit of a clock that to charge this case, or else Jeremy Lawson is out there with no bail attached to his case whatsoever. So my plan is to be there in solidarity with our friend Cam and in solidarity with justice and prosecution of Antifa goons. So we're going to get the show done on time today.